Hello. So, this is something that has come to mind recently. I'm gonna kind of blast through this because it's a fairly well-developed concept in my head. I wanna go through it fairly quickly. So, there's a pattern of thinking I've observed in weak people that is based on demonizing uh, those that are stronger than them, and then going through a cycle and justification and whatever coping mechanisms they have to justify their position. And I think this is very damaging and very I don't know, very dumb. Not very fun to be around. These people are to be avoided at all costs. You can't really develop if you keep interacting with people like that on a daily basis. So I wrote hypocrisy of the weak-minded. Um, what am I referring to? First of all, I'm referring to how they refer to morality and what they do to, and how it's not really morality. It's just a tool. I've made a diagram. Fuck it, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna start from where it comes from and then kind of walk through how I see it at least. So, usually what happens? You are a person, you are trying to do things, you are in an environment with many other people, you are competing with people. They are capable of doing things that you can't. Um, or let's say you're a teenager, you're developing, and eventually you get to a point where someone can do something that you can't. It's just like a natural phase of development where you're still growing and there's people that are stronger than you. How do you respond to those people? Well, no, I'm not even going there yet. So, there's people that are stronger than you, and that can be very damaging to be aware of consistently. And or that can be very hard to come to terms with. Like, oh my God, this person uh is just better than me, and that's why he's able to have what I want and I can't have it. Um, you see this form of jealousy basically in everything, like nerds being jealous of the sporty kids, uh, the sporty kids being jealous of the nerds, the unpopular guys being jealous of the popular guys, vice versa, whatever. The poor of the rich. It happens consistently. It doesn't really matter where. So, uh, people, what they do is they label the people that are better than them as a group. They give them like a group identity and um, want to, how should I say? Let's say someone's better at something than me. Let's say someone is jacked and I am fucking not jacked, and I am actually care about this and I'm jealous of him, right? I could be there and like, oh my God, he's so stupid for going to the gym. Why would I need to be jacked, right? Hard coping behavior. The reality of it is, if I didn't care that he was jacked, I wouldn't even have an emotional need to respond to it. It's like, whatever, he's jacked. Don't care, move on. If I'm my world is crumbling down when I see someone else stronger than me, more jacked than me, and I'm like, "Arr!" I feel the need to attack his character. Like, oh, I can't believe he did this. He's jacked because he's trying to get some bitches or some shit, right? That already shows that I have been um, put off balance by this. And the way I restore balance in my little world is by uh, devaluing what he has. It's like, oh my God, he's a steroid head. So, if I were to draw basic scales, it would look something like, uh, ba, ba, ba. I will say me, because if I say you, you'll feel attacked. Probably, if you're a weak person. Uh, Someone or competitor. Um, I've observed him being jacked, and that has shifted my perception, my balances to, oh no, he's ahead of me. I feel so bad about it. And what, uh, even though this shows that he's heavier, whatever. Higher is better in this example, right? Or assume that is so. So I observe him, and his value is higher than mine. And what I do is I'm like, oh my God, how come someone has higher value than me based on my values? Let me just correct my values and add more values to make sure that I cannot be a bad person, because that, or I cannot be inferior to someone, because that is painful to admit. So I will do gymnastics and give this person all sorts of I will attack his value uh, in my understanding by things like, I don't know, I'll basically slander him. I'll basically say uh, womanizer, uh, dumb, uh, bad person. Right? How many times have you looked at someone who's more successful than you, or you've observed someone else go through this pattern? This person is so strong, but he's a bad person. Like, how many times you go and you bring up a success to someone, or about success of someone else to someone, and then their response is they're a bad person. Um, it's this. It's a way of um, attacking them and bringing them down to kind of equalize and protect own little fragile ego. Um, okay. Is there anything else in the origin? I don't think so. I think it's not really that deep. It's really that simple. It's a defense mechanism. Justification. Um, what do they do? Or I guess what I mean by justification is the kind of justifications that they come up with for why it's okay for them to be weaker than others. And they'll always say like, well, I'm such a good person, I wouldn't dare to go to the gym because that's associated with uh, trying to better yourself and trying to become stronger. How dare I do that? I would never allow myself such a evil thing, such as attaining more power. Um, it's so ridiculous if you put it that way. In a way, I think the origin. I know I'm jumping between it, but I also don't care. Um, the origin of it is actually rooted in our society, the way it is currently. We have a society that is, how should I say, it has lost its value on strength, and it demonizes strength, and it uh and it's going towards this acceptance, and everyone's their own little special strong little anyone can do everything. Um, it's extreme level of gaslighting and cope. It's just filled with this narrative of being weak is more desirable than being strong or more socially acceptable. Something something along those lines. Uh, and this creates an environment where you are raised with this idea being brainwashed into your head. Oh no, fighting is not allowed. Oh, you're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do that. Be a good boy. Like, if you listen to everything that you are supposed to do by society, you are basically forbidden from um, demanding more, from demanding what you're worth, from attaining power. What you are encouraged to do is just follow the flow and be a good whatever profession or whatever role that you can slot yourself into. Be a good uh be a good husband, go work 9 to 5 or some shit. Or be a good wife. Like I think be a good boy, I guess you could say. uh be on your best behavior. And that is what you're told from a very young age, and that's reiterated for everything. Every single time when you act in your own interests, um, you're gonna get attacked by everyone. It's like, no, I wanna do this. No, you need to do this. You're gonna hurt your potential, your prospects. You're gonna ruin your future. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. Um, where does this come from? I don't know. I think it's a boomer dick sucking thing, to be honest. In a sense, whatever. I'm not gonna get into boomers. I'll maybe think about that later. Not really that interesting to me. But I think I have a strong suspicion that this is caused by boomers and how they were raised. So, and millennials as well. I hate millennials. Okay. Okay. So, sorry. So you're raised in a society that is telling you to be a good boy, to be very comfortable to other people, and never go and never express your interests. Basically, compromise on your interests to be more socially acceptable. Like, oh, mm, like I'll tell you some things I was raised with. You must open the door to women. You must be a gentleman. You must be never are like never hit a woman, that's like a common thing. Never raise your voice with a woman. Meh, 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 meh. Like all of those things, if you really think about that, it's like you are not allowed or you're supposed to cater to women, and it's like whether I want to do that or not is up to me. Why the fuck are you telling me to do that? You know? If there's a woman that I am extremely attracted to, and is treating me properly, yeah, I'll feel the need to cater to her. Sure, it's just normal, healthy relationship. If she's treating me like shit, why the fuck do I need to cater to her, right? Um, at least in school, I have definitely experienced this as well to like a high degree. Um, and just culturally, this is like a very dominant idea right now, and not just in some like Western cultures. This is I've experienced Russian and UK culture, and they're very different. but there are same elements to this. For example, UK mostly uses the school to enforce it, and uh, the degree of freedom you have in UK is very, very small, by the way. It's so incredibly small. Just going from Russia to UK made me see how fucked it is. Most of you have been raised in that, and or in a Western society of some form, and you don't realize how fucked it is, how oppressed you are from a very young age. It's basically you're being raised with in an oppressed environment, and you basically grow up almost identifying with that self-oppression, or not even self-oppression, with that oppression. And when you see someone else not play by those rules, not play those self-oppressive rules, for example, some guy gets fucking, I don't know, someone's like in a relationship and he doesn't tolerate that bullshit. He's like, fuck that shit. I'm out of here. Fuck this bitch. And he doesn't like act like a victim. He's not like sad or whatever. You're not gonna. You're gonna be like, hey, what the fuck? This guy recovered too quickly. How could he dump her over something so trivial? It's like that's his choice, right? And if you're forcing his choice onto someone, you're oppressing them. So, I guess in simple words, the thing I'm trying to highlight is people are raised in this oppression. They're incapable of overcoming this oppression. And because of that, they start embracing it and identifying with it. And when they see someone else not identifying with it and breaking through or opposing it, and you have to do that if you want to have desirable things, um, generally speaking. Uh, for example, you're not ever gonna make a Lambo by being a good boy. Like that's a very obvious thing to all of us. So when we see a Lambo, that's almost a status symbol of someone who has broken out of oppression. And the reactions that creates is, or the realization that that spawns inside of us is, I will never be able to have that because of the values that I have subscribed to, which is oppression. And this person has that, which means that he doesn't have those values. And the reality is, you're doing this to yourself. If you didn't have those values, you wouldn't identify with oppression. You would be like, damn, this guy has success. Um, like, you would find that inspiring. You would find that as a token of hope. This is a person who has succeeded. And I also have correct values. I will also succeed. Like, you will get charged by strong people around you. You won't feel the need to put them down. Um, or strong and free people. Okay, so it's someone justifying their inability to escape the values that they have been forced into since birth. It's not self-adopted values. No child. Imagine if you are in a society, you're not in school, you're not in and no one's like telling you what to do. Do you think a child will just be like, okay, my playtime is over. I'm going to now study geography for 6 hours? Like, that's never happening, right? It's just never happening. It goes so far against what you would want yourself. It's absurd. Um, but some people, I don't know, as a, it's like a trauma response thing. If you're in something that if something is like breaking you, what you do is you kind of internalize, identify with it, and it feels like it's almost not like someone else is forcing their dick into your mouth. It's like, no, I chose to be here. I want to be here. There's aesthetic with forcing this dick into my mouth. You know, it's the way people It's the way people give colors to I'm not here yet. Give colors to what is happening to them, which helps them just feel better, right? It all comes down to trying to feel better. Okay, so the double standard. Uh, when I say double standard, I am referring to inconsistency of their morality. For example, one of the things I have heard all the time about, oh, don't hurt people, don't kill people, don't uh that is morally correct. You should never blah 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 blah, right? Look at those same people. Or like, I love animals, blah 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 blah. How many of those people are vegan? How many of those people are vegetarian? By the way, um, just for you, probably people that are already attributing certain positions to me, uh, I am not saying you should be vegan. I am. My position is do whatever you want, but have consistency in what you're saying. I'm not attacking a belief system. It's like if you want to be a good person, be consistent with it. Live your life that way. If you say it and you bring it up all the time, but you don't live your life that way, then you're lying. You're bullshitting us, right? And I don't like when people bullshit me, right? So back to being vegan. How many of those people that are talking about how precious life is, Christ is our savior, how many of those people are vegan or vegetarian? And uh, I don't know. To me personally, I haven't been a vegetarian for like 10 years or something. Uh, and the reason why I became a vegetarian was even at, I think, 8 years old, I had the cognitive ability to reflect on why I eat animals. So, my mother made a joke like, "Oh my God, this I don't know what you call them in English, but there's some pastry with some meat inside of it, right?" And my mother made a joke like, "Oh, it's made out of little kittens. That's why the meat is so tender." And me as a child was deeply distraught by this. We had a cat. I loved cats. Every summer I would go to uh, like a village to live with my aunt, and they would have many cats, and I was surrounded by cats, let's say, and I loved cats so much. And hearing that I'm eating little kittens was a very you can imagine for an 8-year-old was a very like a disturbing thing. It's like, no, I don't want to eat kittens. They're my friends, right? And then, I mean, my mother clarified, yeah, it's not a kitten. We're not actually eating kittens. You're probably eating a cow or something. And but that's put me onto the line of thinking. So I was okay with eating cow, or how should I say? To say that I was okay with it is wrong, because obviously I became vegetarian. But people are racist, I guess, in a sense of they are okay with eating one species but not another. It's like what makes a cow more like okay to eat than a kitten? And uh whatever. That was like the logical process I went through, and I thought like, yeah, that's kind of bullshit. Like there is nothing um solid or concrete about why a kitten's life is less valuable or more valuable than a cow's, or why cow's is less valuable than a kitten's, right? And I was able to go through this mental process to come to the conclusion of I don't like, hurting others. It doesn't matter to me if it's a goat, a kitten, or a cow. I just don't like um, hurting others or benefiting off of, taking lives of other beings, right? And as an 8-year-old, I had the like mental faculties to come to the decision, and 10 years I was vegetarian, or like 12 years, or something like this, right? Uh, I'll explain later why I stopped, but I had a belief that you should be like a good guy, you shouldn't hurt people, and I also loved animals, and to be consistent with that, I have sacrificed eating meat for a very long period of time. And then the reason why I went back to eating meat is my values have changed. I have realized that it's a natural cycle of life, and eat or be eaten. And um I have no like moral issues with hurting another being. I don't really care what species they are. I still don't do this racist thing like, oh, animals of certain caliber are okay to eat and others are not okay. Like this is just the most retarded like mental gymnastics. Like, oh, animals don't have the same level of consciousness. Like, come on, you're just stupid. Let's be honest. Like, does that mean I can eat your retarded little brother? Like, he doesn't have a high level of consciousness. A monkey maybe has a higher level of consciousness, right? We should start butchering fucking retarded kids and putting them in pastry. I'm sure their meat will be very tender. Okay, so um, the thing I was trying to highlight is they always create this image like, oh, I'm so good, I would never hurt someone else, and then they continue partaking or benefiting from harming others. Like it's the same. Oh, I would never hurt someone. It's like a very, I don't know. I feel like it's a very feminine idea, but a lot of men obviously subscribe to it as well. It's like, okay, you're getting engaged. Oh, you have a ring. Oh, is that a blood diamond by any chance? That is mined, in Africa by unethical means. Did you know that? Have you considered that? No, but the ring is really pretty. Like, come on. The point I'm saying is these people are playing both sides of the coin. They are, when it benefits them, acting like they're saints, and when there's something that they want on the other side that is socially acceptable, they're uh, playing the other side. Like, oh, I don't care about animals. Oh, I don't care about blood diamonds. If it's socially acceptable. So these people are just social chameleons. They don't, when they are saying, arguing about morality, they don't actually mean it. There's no honesty there. It's always 100% whatever benefits their sense of, or benefits them in that situation. If I need to label someone, my competitor, slander them, be like, oh, he's so evil, he's so heartless, I bet he would eat a kitten, then they'll do that in a heartbeat. But when it comes to um, buying blood diamonds, or when it comes to eating other animals, they'd also do that in a heartbeat, right? Uh, they don't really care. And there's no like consistency in it, which shows that there was no real value in it to begin with. They were just trying to manipulate perspective to benefit themselves. Um, that's the double standard. uh, or the contradiction in their belief, reality, and impact on others. Uh, I'm gonna mix these two together because it's kind of the same thing. In reality, what are they achieving by doing this? Not much to be honest. They're just, I've already kind of said it. They are very fragile. They have a very low sense of self-worth, and they need to protect it by manipulating perspectives. And when, for example, if they see someone succeed, they need to compensate it with, yeah, but to make this kind of money, he needs to be corrupt, blah 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 blah, right? And they take it very painfully when you show them the contradictions. These people usually have complete meltdowns or whatever. When you just show the inadequacy in what they're thinking, you'll have like someone saying like, "Ah, I hate the rich. They're always stealing money," and then you're like, "What do you mean?" Like, you literally come from a relatively rich household. Like, what the fuck do you even mean? And they'll be like, "Ah, I can't be a victim anymore. I'm gonna have a temper tantrum." At least that's what I've observed in interactions I've had. Impact on others is they destroy others around them. If you are on your way to, as I said earlier, if you stay around these people, you will not be able to grow. Why? Because they cannot tolerate someone being better than them. And to do that, they will always slander or try to destroy them to protect their self-worth. Because to them, they have not discovered this thing called focus on yourself, you retard, alright? And they are, for whatever reason, have taken their foot off the pedal and they're wherever they are. And whenever they see someone zooming past them, they're like, ha, what a retard, or whatever fucking gymnastics they need to do mentally to um, justify the fact that they don't have their foot on the pedal, right? It's all just massive coping. It's all just built on bullshit, and there's not really much else to say about it. Responses, I think I've already covered that. When you uh, call someone out on it, when you really don't let them throw a narrative over you, these people will completely blow up. They will do generally one of two things. Actually, usually both at the same time. They will first blow up on you. They will say, "Oh my God, you are so evil. You are the worst person ever." Blah 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 blah. Um, and if they see no reaction, if they see a reaction to that, they might continue interacting because they've successfully manipulated you, right? The second is if they don't successfully manipulate you, is they will just leave. Why? Because being in your presence is a reminder of their inadequacy. These people are not complete. They are not functional on their own. Again, like they're in the car and they're not moving anywhere. That is always going to create a high degree of frustration in your body because, like on a chemical level, it will create frustration because you feel like you're not growing, and when you're not growing, it I don't know, it just builds up stress over time. Um, in your like nervous system, and the way you release that stress is, or how should I say, people that have a lot of stress in their system, a lot of this built up frustration from not doing anything, they're very prone to, or they're very easy to, they're very easy to hit. They're very easy to, how should I say, put off balance. They're very easy to make them explode, and such people, they just will not be able to tolerate your presence. In the long run. If you are someone who isn't a slave and you're consistently running and they see you running, right? There's another thing. If you're stopped and everyone else is stopped, you don't feel so bad because you are in good company. Uh, that's why they say misery loves company. You're just sitting there like circle jerking each other. Oh, life is so hard. Everything is so bad. Life is so unfair. We all, I don't know. All of our relationships failed. All of us failed at whatever we're trying to do, but we have each other to make us feel like not a failure. even though you are a failure objectively because you're bonding over being a failure. Uh, but uh, it makes us feel like even though we failed, someone else has also failed or sees that we failed and accepts us for failing, and therefore it kind of justifies our failure, and we feel okay with it. And that's why it's so important for someone who has failed to convince you that it was really hard, or that they were really close to succeeding, or that they could have succeeded, or that they chose not to. People always go through these things. It's like, oh yeah, I could have been a millionaire, but I decided it was immoral. Like, come on, let's be real. If you could be a millionaire, like a snap of a button, like right now, you have a choice: be a millionaire or not to be a millionaire. Would you be a millionaire? I'll give you 1 second to decide. Oh my God! If you don't have mental illness, you'll probably be a millionaire. Good job. Because it's an objectively better position to be in than like to have more or less resources, right? It doesn't matter what the fuck you do. It doesn't say anything about your character. Just having the money, like what you do with it is up to you. If you're such a vigilante, such a beautiful, good person, then you will find a way of spinning that $1 million into uh, creating something that will benefit the poor people that you're trying to save, right? You'll go into Africa and you'll start building like a non-corrupt infrastructure and or whatever, right? Or any other like lesser developed part of the world, because Africa's cooking right now. Okay, I'll probably go to the UK because that shit's falling apart. Okay, so to summarize, the whole point I tried to make is weak people are extremely weak mentally, very fragile. What they need to do is try to break everyone along their way so that they become just like them. It's like and people do this subconsciously without realizing. And the next thing that they do is they have these bullshit justifications that are just completely inconsistent and double standards in their thinking, where they're completely okay with imprisoning or killing someone that goes against them, but at the same time they're not okay with violence and they're peace loving, like complete double standards. And they poison the environment around them just to protect their position or self-image. And when you don't play that game, they either run away or they like go. Usually, you will see like a Jekyll and Hyde, like their personality will slip 180. The one that you're seeing when they blow up is the real them. How someone responds when they lose control is the real them. Because, how I should say, socially, when we speak to people, we create masks, knowingly or unknowingly, to kind of be to cater to whoever we're speaking to. Whenever we realize that mask isn't working, and we're in a very emotional moment, then we show our true colors. And just by not catering to these people, you will see their true colors, and you'll realize there's nothing beautiful about these people. There's nothing interesting about them. There's nothing redeemable about these people. They are just, how should I say? They're they're nothing. There's just nothing about them. They're just nothing. Um, completely insignificant, completely insubstantial. I don't know what else there is to add. I think I've covered everything. Ciao.